For this video, we'll look at how to enter your grades into your gradebook in SIS. So once you've logged into your SIS account, it's going to open up to your seating chart. So you're going to go to your drop-down menu, and from your drop-down, you can see all your various sections that have been made for you in SIS. So to enter the grade, you're going to hover over the report card. It's going to pull this drop-down menu. And on this video, we're going to look at two different ways to enter grades. They're both going to have the same end result. I guess it's just a matter of which layout you prefer. So the first way we'll look at is how to enter the grades by each individual student. So to do that, you're going to click Student on the drop-down. Alright, and then from here, before you start entering grades, you want to make sure you're putting the grade in the right place. So once again, you're going to enter the grades for each subject in each section, but you also want to make sure that you're in the right grading period. Okay? So we're going to start on homeroom quarter 1. So that's already selected for us. Alright, and then it's going to pull up a list of each individual student. So I'm just going to start here on Justin Michael. You're going to click him. And since we're in the homeroom section is where you have your life, work, and citizenship skills. Alright, and then you're provided a drop-down menu for each standard. And you're just going to select the grade for each thing. Alright, now if you notice a student is going to have a lot of the same grades. So let's say this guy's going to get a lot of 3s. Just to save myself the trouble, instead of having to go through each individual box, you can use this black drop-down arrow to automatically populate. So if this guy's going to have a bunch of 3s, I can just click that and it'll auto-populate 3 for this whole section. And then I can just go back and maybe put in the few that are not 3s, kind of change them up a little bit. Alright, now a good idea to do is once you've done a little bit of work, always go back up here to click Save and Continue, just so you don't lose anything that you've done. Okay? Alright, and then, you would just kind of continue here. Maybe go to your language arts, and it's going to look the exact same, but now we have the language arts standards, which you'll then put the grades in for. And here it's on, above, or below. Alright. Now, that one's a little different. Then I can come here to the 4, auto-populate. Okay. Alright, so once you've gone through all your sections and entered all the grades, the other thing you're going to want to enter are your comments. Alright, so a couple ways to enter your comments. Let me save that real quick. Alright, so if you scroll, you can either scroll down to the bottom of the page, or you can click Go to Overall Comments, and it'll take you down here. And once again, we're focusing on the first quarter. It says there's no comments entered yet. So to enter a comment, you're going to click that pencil icon. Doesn't seem like anything happened, but if you scroll down, you have these comment boxes. And if you go down even further, you actually have a comment bank with some preloaded comments. Okay? You also have this drop-down menu for different options as well. So let's just say for language arts, I'm going to say the student has been provided additional support. So to add whatever comment you want, you're going to click the plus button. And then if you'll notice, there was nothing here before. But now this comment is showing up here, and it's also showing up here in the quarter 1 comments. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is we're going to save the comment at the very bottom. Okay, but you'll notice nothing's showing up here on our report card yet. We're going to click Save Comment again, and I'm getting alerts that it's been saved. And once you've clicked Save Comments 2 times, it's still not showing up. So this is like the very top, the banner of the page. If I click Save and Continue again, just like I did earlier when I was saving my work, and now that basically saves everything. And now that comment is going to show up on the comment section of the report card for first grade. Okay, so you can enter various comments. So let me go back to my edit icon, and let's just say I put something else about social studies. Let's say I put something about math, and you can enter multiple comments, and you'll see everything that I'm adding is here. But let's just say for some reason I prefer my math to be after my language arts. I can click up, and it's going to bump the order up, slide that back down, which will change the order here. So, you can add all your comments and then reorder them later. We'll save it. Save it in this middle section so that everything here saves into here. Now once again, nothing's here yet until I click the save and continue on the very top part. And now I got my multiple comments here. Alright, and that is pretty much it. You just go through each section, and that's how you're going to enter grades for each individual student. Now once you finish one student, you can either use these buttons up here. You can kind of work in alphabetical order. You can go to the next student and go that way, or if you click save and back to the list, it'll save everything you've done for Justin Michael, and then I can go into whatever order I want into each student individually. Okay? Now one thing that's really important though, and you'll notice these buttons are green. These are the ones you're going to use the most. We can save our work as we go and continue. We can save and go back to the list, but do not click save and mark complete. Okay? You don't want to click save and mark complete, because if you mark it as complete, it basically gets made public and the parents can start to access the grades through SIS, and we may not be ready for them to see it yet. Okay, so we just save it within SIS, and then when the grading deadline comes, the back end, the IT people, they will push the grades through when it's ready in the system. Okay, so never click this. Alright, the other way to enter your grades, so if you go back up to your report card, you can also enter them through the matrix. So if you click the matrix, and it's empty right now, first thing you're going to do is select a template, and you're only going to have one template. This fake account I'm using is 5th grade. If you teach 1st grade, it'll say 1st grade, etc. It's already kind of set up for you. So you're just going to select your template, and it's a lot more information, but this might make it faster for you. So here you'll see, instead of having to do each individual student, I got my whole class list here, and I have all the standards going across here. Alright, so once again, once I've done Justin Michael's grades, I can auto-populate. If I know there's a lot of similar grades, I can go back and change whichever grades I need to if I have auto-populated. And once again, while I'm working, it's always a good idea to save your scores, just in case you don't want to exit out without saving, or if your computer acts up. You want to save as you go. Alright, now in the matrix, once again, if I want to know where I'm at, so look at the standards, I'm in my language arts. So if I, within the matrix, need to switch it around, I come to this drop down, I can go to math, select the template again, and it's going to pull up the matrix from a whole class, all of my class list, all of the math standards, and once again you can go through, start entering all the grades you have, saving as you go. Alright, now the one thing that the matrix does not have is an area or a direct link for the comments. So in order to do the comments, you have to do it the same way we did with individual students. So you're going to go back to students, click whichever student you need to work on, go to overall comments, and go through the same process. Click the pencil icon, and you're going to pick their comments, save it, change the order if you choose to, or you can remove them here, save them to how it's going to be displayed in text, save and continue on the top, and then your comments are here. Alright, and then when you think you're done, just to be sure, save again, and that's pretty much all there is to entering your grades into your SISGradebook. Once again, you have two ways: by individual student, by the matrix, along with your grades, also getting your comments, which can only be done through the individual students on the drop down. And one more thing about the comments. When I mentioned earlier about this drop-down menu on the comment bank, a couple things you probably need to adjust more on here. These comments, these are not all the comments that you can choose from. Notice these are all additional help. Okay, so on the comment bank, on the subject, it's additional help. So when I'm giving more in-depth comments based on certain subject areas, you have many more options to choose from based on the subject matter, based on the grade level, etc. So as you choose different items from the bank, you have a much more wide variety of comments to choose from. The other thing you might want to look at on your comment bank dropdown is the swap type. You can either choose to have the comments, listing the student name or a pronoun. If you don't want it to keep saying Johnny does this, Johnny does that, you can just go to the pronoun. It'll just say he, she, so it's maybe a little more fluid. Okay. The other thing, if you just want to kind of get a quick preview, make sure you're not missing anything, make sure everything looks okay. You can do this at any time. You can do view report card. You're going to click it. It's going to do a quick little download, and then you can choose to open it, and you'll get a PDF of what the report card will actually look like. So here you can kind of see everything. I just kind of did a few. Obviously I have a lot to go back on, but you can always do a report card view just to make sure everything looks straight and in order for you. Alright, and that's pretty much it.